Hey guys, it's James with Northern Nevada Homestead. I'm here in the greenhouse today. The wind is blowing about 20 miles an hour outside, so we can't do anything on the metal building. The red iron structure, all three bays are up. I just have the canopy to install that, plumb up the jambs and anchor those to the ground. Then we can get our engineer out there to sign off on it, and then we go to the next step on it. But I'm in here in the greenhouse today. It's 37 degrees today. Like I said, the wind's blowing like crazy. It's part left over from the storm yesterday. We had hail in the morning. Well, it went from rain to hail to snow and thunderstorms and knocked power out. I got to watch a couple transformers towards town blow. It was quite the exciting day. Today we just have the winds left over. Tomorrow they're supposed to be about 5 miles an hour, so I'll get that canopy up tomorrow, providing nothing changes. And so I'm out here in the greenhouse today. This thing is just about done. It's all wired up. We have plugs down both sides for any equipment that we might need. I'm in the process of deciding what I'm going to do with the aquaponics. I think I can get down this side right here. I'm going to use the IBC totes for the grow beds. I think I can get about 15 of them in here. I might be able to get another row of 3, but I don't think so. I'm going to try to go with a 2,000 gallon tank. I'll probably have to sink that 2 or 3 feet in the ground so it's not sticking up too high. That'll help with the keep the bottom cool at an even temperature all season long, I'm hoping. That'll give me enough room for my sump tank and a swirl filter, and then I think I can get 5 rows of 3 IBC totes that come out here to about 10 feet. That's the plan anyways. I'm still crunching the numbers, make sure that everything's gonna work. As far as what fish we're gonna run into the system, out here in Nevada, you have to have a special license for tilapia. I haven't heard of anybody privately getting one. They usually only give it to commercial fisheries. So we may have to go with catfish and bluegill or something like that. I don't know. If you have any ideas, post them down below. Speaking of down below, I tried replying to some of your content or questions, and for some reason it won't let me reply. So since I don't have a ton of subscribers and just a few questions, I can get them here. To Jeff out at Redhead Ranch, we're close to you, but we're up the road more towards Winnemucca. I think probably the next valley over, maybe 2 valleys over, I'm not sure. On my very first video, someone had asked about wells out here. Wells, the water table for us was about they drilled to about 190 feet, and I think it was about $63 or $64 a foot. I'm not sure. You can probably get that for less if you do a lot of the work yourself, with the exception of the drilling. You have to have a licensed well driller, but your pressure tank and all that you can do yourself. I didn't do it. I just wanted to have somebody do it and get it done with. But I don't know. That was a couple years ago that we had it done, so the rates may have changed. I'm sure they have. Seems like the price in real estate has gone up out here, or maybe people are just asking more for it. I don't know if it's actually selling for that. And I thought there was one other question. I don't remember what it is. If I remember, I'll come back to it. If not, I apologize. So I do appreciate you guys commenting. I'm trying to figure out why I can't post a comment to those. I don't know. It's hard to believe that I come from an IT background, and that was up until I don't know, 8-9 years ago. That's what I did. Now I have no desire, so that's part of the reason I haven't figured it out yet. But I'll try to answer them on here. If I don't get it there, I do appreciate it. So anyways, back to the greenhouse. So we got this all wired up. We got the vents, they're all automated. We have, it's through Link 4, it's an iGrow 800, which monitors the temperature in here, it monitors the temperature outside, and regulates it. We had it the day before the storm. When we got it first set up and programmed, it tried to maintain a temperature of about 75 degrees in here. So these vents, when it would get hot, they would open all the way up, and as it started to cool off, they would slowly close. And by the evening, when the sun had set, they just fully shut, and they didn't open at all yesterday. There is a wind vane on it that will keep them shut if the winds get over 15. We're going to change that because these vents can handle quite a bit more wind than that, but it's a, you know, safety. So if it gets up too high, it'll shut these vents. It will control the heater. It will control the fans. I think you can see, maybe I'm in the way. The fans will kick on. They're set to kick on automatically when the heater comes on to help regulate it. The heater's just a Modine heater, gas, well, propane heater. Out here we don't have natural gas. That will help maintain the temperature. But I just came out here, it was it's 37 degrees outside. Let me look real quick. It is, it's 37 degrees outside, and it is 66 point something in here. So it's quite a different spread, and there's no heat. The heat isn't hooked up yet, so it's not heating on its own. It's just these wall panels, and these wall panels, I don't know if you can see this. Let me grab them. These are the cutoffs of it. I don't know if this will show up. I'll try, but it's an 8mm wide double wall poly panel, so it has that, you know, air gap in the middle, and it does pretty good. It keeps it about 20 degrees or so warmer in here than outside, and it's been quite impressive. The other morning I came out, it was, I don't know, I think it was only about 15 degrees difference, but it was there was no sun, and when the sun's out it's a little bit less, but now that the sun's in here it gets hot, and I have to wear sunglasses. It's just too bright in here. It diffuses the light really well, so it should things should go pretty well in here. If you have any ideas for the aquaponics, or, you know, something, point me in the right direction. You know, I've watched lots of videos, and I've, you know, starting to crunch the numbers, and that's why I think I'm going with, I'm going to try to make the IBC totes about 16 inches of grow material. So I calculated it out. It's about 270 square feet of grow bed, which is anywhere from $1,300 to $2,700 in, or not dollars, in gallons for the fish. So anyways, I got someone coming up now, so I will continue this later. Plumber stopped by, is doing some work for us. On the house foundation, they're supposed to, they're going to be putting a foam board insulation around the perimeter of the foundation for the energy efficiency rating, all that stuff, and hopefully it'll keep that transfer of that ice cold ground to the inside, or at least help with that. I expected them to be out doing that today, but maybe with the wind blowing today and the rain from yesterday, they decided that they're going to wait. So hopefully the foundation guys will be out here tomorrow. Getting anxious to get the house started. I'm currently in a small room with the wife, the kid, and 2 cats, and it's cozy. We'll just leave it at that. I'm ready to have my own office, and I'm ready to have my own kitchen and all that stuff. So anyways, so back to the greenhouse. We got the weather station. We haven't mounted it on the building yet, but it'll monitor the wind and shut the vents if the winds get too high. I might have talked about this before. Apologize if I did. I have a really bad memory, short-term memory like that, so you might be hearing it again. But anyways, we'll get that weather station up sometime this week. We've got some shielding for the cables that we need to put on it. That's on order, and we'll get that mounted up on the the top of the greenhouse. It has to be above the roof line, so it's going to be sticking up, probably a couple feet above the roof line. That's for the wind. The weather station that measures the temperature doesn't have to be quite that high, so we'll probably drop that down a couple feet. But other than that, that's where we're at. So getting back to the aquaponics, if you have any ideas, or especially on the fish, that's kind of the part. I really wanted to go with something like tilapia. Trout is another thing that I've thought about, but I'm not sure if I can keep the temperature low enough to not stress them out. We get 100 degrees August. The rest of the time it's not too bad. And I think if I put the tank in the ground, it might stay cool enough, but I may have to do catfish and bluegill or something for the first year and monitor those water temperatures and see if they'd stay low enough. I don't know, but if you're up here in the northern Nevada area and you know of a source too for the fingerlings for the aquaponics, let me know. Post down there, and I'll try to look those up, because the only sources I'm really seeing are in Sacramento, California, and those are for tilapia, and it's about a 4-hour drive, and again, tilapia, you have to have a special permit, and I just don't want to deal with that. And it's only been pretty much given to the commercial fisheries. So anyways, I'll get this one posted up for you, and hopefully by the time it's up, we'll get that canopy, all that red iron done. I can take you over there and show you the rest of that, show you what it looks like all put together. I'm not going to do a how-to on putting these up. There's, YouTube's been around. There's 50 how-tos on everything. I'll show you what we're doing. If you have a specific question, you can ask me, and I'll try to answer that and make it a little bit clearer. But as far as a how-to on putting up the metal building and the greenhouse, I didn't do it on this one either. The greenhouse came all in pieces. We had to build the trusses. We had to build everything, put it together. It's a big erector set is all they are. I sat there and at night I'd look over the plans, and I'd study each step and just go over it and before I get to it, to make sure I understand what's going on. That way you don't have to go back and fix stuff. I ended up, one of the columns on the greenhouse that the canopy goes off to, because it looks identical both sides with the exception of the canopy holes, I put it down or backwards, so the canopy beam would have been facing in the building. So I had to take off all the end wall girts and unattach it from the floor, and the roof, spin it around and put it back down, which that killed a couple hours of work, which I should have caught. That's interesting. The vents are trying to open because it's getting too hot in here. I guess the wind speed isn't high enough for them. So, I don't know if you could hear that in the background, but the vents just kicked on. They opened up about that much, so it's trying to cool it off in here. I'll have to watch these and see how. We may have to lower that wind speed if we have any problems. So, but yeah, it's pretty nice. It'll let out all the hot air, and it keep this greenhouse in the 70-degree area. So it's pretty nice. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll try to get another one to you soon. Had one of my viewers said weekly would be better. I'm trying weekly for you, Jerome. We'll see if I can do it. I don't always have stuff going on, but I'll get as close to that as possible. Things are starting to pick up and move. I've got some trips planned coming up here, so I'll be out for a week here, a week there, but for the rest of it, I'll try to get some videos posted for you to view, and keep the questions coming, and we can and I can get those answered for you. So I appreciate it. Have a good day.